You got your toothbrush?
Check.
Do you have your deodorant?
Check.
Do you have your cozy clothes?
Got that.
What?
Do they know I'm black?
Should they?
You might wanna,
Mom and Dad, my black boyfriend will be coming up this weekend. I just don't want you to be shocked that he's a black man.
Hi, welcome to What the Flick. Christy and Alonzo and Matt to talk about this enormously hyped and justifiably so horror hybrid called Get Out. Please tell us about it.
So this is the writing and directing debut of, is that me? Yes, okay.
Yes.
Of Jordan Peele of Key and Peele. I don't think I've ever seen a horror movie that has been marketed from the mind of someone in comedy. But it turns out that he's really good at this because this movie is scary and funny and super relevant. Tell me his name again?
Daniel Kaluuya.
Daniel Kaluuya, sorry. It's those too many vowels, it was throwing me. Daniel Kaluuya, a British actor you might know from Sicario, plays Chris. He's a photographer, and he is in a relationship with Rose, played by Allison Williams. She wants to take him home to meet her parents. He is justifiably nervous about that. And when he gets there, things are strange and get stranger and possibly diabolical. Take a look.
Dean, and you hug me, my man.
So how long has this been going on, this thing? We hired Georgina and Walter to help care for my parents. When they died, I couldn't bear to let them go.
Do you smoke in front of my daughter?
I'm gonna quit.
She'd take care of that for you.
How?
Hypnosis.
I'm good, actually.
Holy shit, this movie.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Look, if you're considering real quick, before we get into the issues about this movie, if you are considering seeing this movie, go see it. Don't watch this whole review because you're better off the less you know.
We're not gonna spoil anything,
right.
but for some of you people,
But-
anything is a spoiler.
Some
So
of you.
if that's gonna be your thing, just stop now, go
Right.
see it, and come back.
Get
Trust
out,
us.
go see it, come back.
Just trust us. Yeah, it's interesting because the elevator pitch for this, which totally reduces it, is it's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner meets the Stepford Wives.
Totally.
And it's more biting than the former, and it's like funnier than the latter. And the only thing I can really liken it to is those great Edgar Wright hybrids, where they start out as one kind of movie and very steadily and very assuredly become a whole nother movie right before your eyes, and you don't even realize that it's happened. And it's tough. It's an amazingly tough balance to pull off, and this is the first feature Jordan Peele has written and directed, so I don't know how he got this thing made. I don't know how he got it greenlit, because it's just daring as hell.
Yeah, but there's a lot that it gets away with structurally, because usually in a movie where something terrible is happening, but we don't know what it is. Once the reveal happens, then it's over, because that's all the movie kind of had in its quiver. This movie, you find out what's going on, and then there's still more happening, and you're still engaged, and it's like the twist is just a thing, but there's much more to unpack and deal with, and the pacing is so good, and the performances are also great. The parents are played by Bradley Whitford and Catherine Keener. Catherine Keener is so good in this.
Yes.
Lil Rel Hall.
I'm gonna look it up so we get it all right, because and also I want to get the name of the woman who plays the housekeeper.
Oh,
She's
yes.
just creepy and seems
Yeah.
So let me look that up real fast.
Caleb Landry Jones.
This movie is so sharp. The commentary it does about the way the parents speak to him and like all of their rich white friends and the stuff that gets says to Chris is, a different movie would take like real obvious stabs at racism, right? But these aren't rednecks. These are
posh.
These are posh
Liberals.
people who, posh
who love
liberals.
Obama.
Right.
And the stuff that they say, it's horrifying. And then
It's rude, but it's never hostile.
right. It's rude, but it's not hostile. And then there's this, underlying sense of what starts as discomfort that turns into dread on behalf of Chris being kind of the only the only black person in all, the only other black people are servants. And it goes farther and farther down that rabbit hole. And then when you get to what the reveal is, it's worse than you think. And then, I don't want to say what it does at the end, but the way Peele plays the audience at the very end of the movie, he plays you like a violin. And like almost of the realm, it made me think of the scene in Psycho where Norman is pushing the the car into the lake, and he suddenly
It
suddenly
stopped
now
sinking.
well, and it stops sinking, and now you've switched and you're worried about the killer, right? The guy who's committed this murder. It's a different type of thing, but Peele plays the audience in a way that he's playing with your expectations and your hopes.
And
it's
it's
so
the
awesome.
kind of thing where like you can tell people are scared, and then they all sort of collectively kind of laugh because they realize what's happened and what they've just been put through.
There's release. I want to mention really fast, Betty Gabriel is the actress
Yes.
who plays the housekeeper. Also, Lakeith Stanfield, who is in
Yes.
Short Term 12, is very good as the only other black person at this party.
Right.
It reminds me a bit too of Zootopia in that it gets at this nugget of truth that people don't want to acknowledge about themselves, right? That everyone has racist ideas or preconceptions or ideas that we think we are above it all, but there's a little something, within our thinking that maybe has been there forever.
As
and
Avenue
it dares,
Q tells us, everybody's a little bit racist.
it dares make us face things about ourselves that we probably don't want to.
Yeah, no, in my review of the Wrap, I called this a post-racial movie, but I also said that you mentioned the Stepford Wives, and I was saying that while the Stepford Wives sort of played upon like feminists' fears of male chauvinists' fears of feminism, this is a movie that plays on black people's fear of white people's fear of black people. Because there is this presentation of, hashtag not all white people, but the ones in this movie are presented in a way where, they're not like, hillbilly, one-tooth racists, but at the same time, there's this sort of kind of polite, horrifying thing that's going on at this, nonetheless, and for all this to be, and the thing is, the movie is not sledgehammering you with any of this. No. It is first and foremost a genre movie. It's a horror comedy, but it has super smart things to say about race, and it's insanely relevant.
Yeah, and the writing is really sharp, but also visually he takes some chances and creates some images and some visual structural stuff that is very bold. That I will say. There's a really cool nod to being John Malkovich in here.
Yes.
I will say that. But it's playful,
especially
but deadly
with Keener
serious.
in this movie.
Yeah, I was saying, there's a moment that is clearly an homage, right? And clearly there are homages to directors he loves, and that's obvious. But it is also very much its own unique, specific thing.
There's also some cool visual symbolism that plays upon kind of stereotypes of black representation in movies and just in art in general. But I don't want to give away what they are.
Right.
Okay.
There was part of this movie that made me think, actually, some of the scenes, the scenes that are like, I don't want to give away what they are, but there's a couple scenes that made me think of Under the Skin. Actually.
Yes. Me too.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say too. Also, you were looking for the name of the guy who plays his best friend, Lil Rel Howery.
Yes.
Is a comedian.
Yes, he's
very
on
good.
Carmichael's show. He is a scene stealer in this.
He's the
great.
voice of reason in all this insanity. So just stop watching this. Or
Get out.
Or come back and watch it again.
Yeah, just go see it. It's
this movie's awesome.
It's pretty great. Yeah. So what are your numbers then, friends?
9.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said 9.5.
9.5. Yeah.
I'm also
almost
saying 9.5.
perfect.
This is like early top 10 list contender for me. We got a couple movies this week which are both early top 10 list possibilities for me. So February, the week of the Oscars, maybe does not suck as badly as usual. Our number is a 9.3, and where is it?
100%.
Woo-woo.
With, and not just a few reviews, 71 reviews at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's played what? It was midnight at Sundance?
It was the secret screening at Sundance.
And it has been hyped ever since, and justifiably
Believe the hype.
so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.